There are souls in this world who have the gift of finding joy everywhere and leaving it behind them when they go. Unless you realize your true self as the divine, your life is meaningless. As if you could kill time without injuring eternity. Light must come from inside. You cannot ask the darkness to leave you. You must turn on the light. The number of people who believe a thing has no bearing upon its truth. Be faithful to that which exists within yourself.
I don't think there's anything wrong with telling the truth. I know it isn't fashionable.
Every time I plant a seed, he say, kill it before it grow. He say, kill it before they grow.
As for methods of prayer, all are good, as long as they are sincere. When I get sad, I stop being sad and be awesome instead. Until death itself comes, no calamity need be feared.
It can take years to mold a dream. It takes only a fraction of a second for it to be shattered. Sometimes I can hear my bones straining under the weight of all the lives I'm not living. Every day when I go to bed, it's my year end. And when I wake up, it's my new year. There are no bad words, bad thoughts, bad intentions, and words.
Unthinking respect for authority is the greatest enemy of truth.
Don't wait, the time will never be just right. People have boldness to criticize, but not to sensitize. I want words at my funeral, but I guess that means you need life in your life.
I'm going to try speaking some reckless words, and I want you to try to listen recklessly. We may be small, and we may be young, but we will shake the world for our beliefs. Be brave to stand for what you believe in, even if you stand alone. When inequality takes root, a garden of problems flourishes. Those who are willing to be vulnerable move among mysteries. The only source of knowledge is experience.
Life is a journey that necessitates progress. Keep moving, because each step brings you closer to your goals. We fall, we break, we fail, but then we rise, we heal, we overcome. If life gives you any trouble, punch it in the face. Everybody gets so much information all day long that they lose their common sense. Countless words count less than the silent balance between yin and yang.
Man doesn't know what he is capable of until he is asked. That is all very senseless, but this senselessness has a pretty mouth, and it smiles.
Consistency is the true foundation of trust. Either keep your promises or do not make them. Devour your fears or they will devour you. Fear is a lie. Stop believing lies.
If my life is going to mean anything, I have to live it myself. One day, in retrospect, the years of struggle will strike you as the most beautiful.
Action springs not from thought, but from a readiness for responsibility. It is possible to commit no mistakes and still lose. That is not weakness, that is life.
The only limits for tomorrow are the doubts we have today.
The fundament upon which all our knowledge and learning rests is the inexplicable. We are supposed to call poison medicine, and we wonder why we're always sick.
When anger rises, think of the consequences. No persons are more frequently wrong than those who will not admit they are wrong. If you have the guts to be yourself, other people will pay your price.
To avoid disappointment, expect nothing from nobody. You don't have to choose between being scientific and being compassionate. H is for habit. Winners make a habit of doing the things losers don't want to do. The best way to have a good idea is to have a lot of ideas. I scream for everything that has gone wrong. I scream for everything broken in our lives.
If the enemy has occupied them before you, do not follow him, but retreat and try to entice him away.
You can't start the next chapter of your life if you keep rereading the last one.
A man who knows he is a fool is not a great fool. A common man marvels at uncommon things. A wise man marvels at the commonplace.
Don't half-state yourself. You're the most variable person, because every big thing started from a small one. You can't change the wind, but you can set your sails. The best view comes after the hardest climb.
Death is so terribly final, while life is full of possibilities. Invincibility depends on oneself, the enemy's vulnerability on him. You never know who you're inspiring or uninspiring. People notice more than you think.
He who has a why to live can bear almost anyhow. Guard well your thoughts when alone and your words when accompanied. Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. You can't do anything about the length of your life. You can do something about its width and depth.
Gratitude creates hope, and hope activates the law of attraction.
Use the wings of the flying universe. Dream with open eyes. See in darkness.
Adapt what is useful, reject what is useless, and add what is specifically your own.
Science is not only compatible with spirituality, it is a profound source of spirituality. Being interesting isn't important, but being happy is, as well as being a person you're proud of. Nothing important is learned. It is simply remembered.
Everything you do doesn't have to be seen or heard.
I just want to teach people how to be comfortable. Stop being so scared. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve.
We are good to others only because we think that that is or will be good for us.
You get in life what you have the courage to ask for. Never allow a person to tell you no who doesn't have the power to say yes. You don't believe things because they make your life better. You believe them because they're true. You are willing to die, you coward, but not to live. The best lies are based on the truth, at least in part.
The desire to reach for the stars is ambitious. The desire to reach hearts is wise.
What makes earth feel like hell is our expectation that it should feel like heaven. Scars show us where we have been. They do not dictate where we are going.
Light in your mind is better than darkness in your soul.
He who cannot obey himself will be commanded. That is the nature of living creatures. One lie has the power to tarnish 1,000 truths.
To understand the limitation of things, desire them. Excuses are merely nails used to build a house of failure.
I have no ambition to govern men. It is a painful and thankless office. Neither the sun nor death can be looked at steadily. Never do anything that you can't admit doing, because if you are that ashamed of whatever it is, it's probably wrong. May your feet ever walk in the light of 2 suns, and may the moon shadow never fall on you.
Doing nothing is better than being busy doing nothing.
Those who forget the past are condemned to repeat it. Success is knowing your purpose in life, growing to reach your maximum potential, and sowing seeds that benefit others. That truth should be silent. I had almost forgot.
You can measure the size of a person by what makes him or her angry.
You're being judged no matter what, so be who you want to be.
All I have is all I need, and all I need is all I have in this moment.
I'm killing time while I wait for life to shower me with meaning and happiness.
Karma is given, not to those who ask, but to those who ask of nothing. To touch the soul of another human being is to walk on holy ground. I do not know everything, still many things I understand.
Successful people enjoy the journeys they embark on, irrespective of whether they reach their destination or not. To hide feelings when you are near crying is the secret of dignity.
When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. Better the comfort of a lie than the absurdity of the truth.
Sometimes we tolerate unacceptable behavior from others because we don't know we deserve better.
A conscious human is driven by their conscience, not popular opinion.
Anyone who doesn't take truth seriously in small matters cannot be trusted in large ones either. I'm sorry for my inability to let unimportant things go, for my inability to hold on to the important things.
The world is already full of critics. To stand out, be an encourager.
Einstein said that insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Dwell on the beauty of life, watch the stars, and see yourself running with them.
Whatever is going to happen will happen, whether we worry or not. You're thinking about something, and it makes you forget to talk.
Calmer you are, the clearer you think.
Stop blaming outside circumstances for your inside chaos.
Great achievement is usually born of great sacrifice and is never the result of selfishness.
The company you choose to keep says a lot about who you are.
Whatever you vividly imagine, ardently desire, enthusiastically act upon will come to pass. Failure is when you give up. A real winner is someone that doesn't give up, even when it feels like they are losing. Remember how far you've come, and you won't have to rely on a destiny for your future. It will come on your own. Before wanting to feel at home with someone else, learn how to feel at home with yourself.
I'm not a product of my circumstances. I'm a product of my decisions.
We can't go back and change what happened. It's what we do next that matters. Everything will be all right in the end, so if it is not all right, it is not the end.
Conformity teaches us the value of our precious worth.
It is better to be alone than in bad company. If you want to tell the world who you are, then the world must first show what you do. Anybody can make the simple complicated. Creativity is making the complicated simple.
10 seconds. That's all it takes for life to throw you a curveball.
The strongest people find the courage in caring to help others, even if they are going through their own storm. Discipline your mind to see the good in every situation and look on the best side of every event. In order that all men may be taught to speak truth, it is necessary that all likewise should learn to hear it. Fight for what you believe in, for if you don't, you will be forever fighting against yourself.
I was never aware of any other option but to question everything. Our lives can't be measured by our final years. Of this, I am sure.
The world should have been in Technicolor, but seemed more like black and white. So many things are possible, as long as you don't know they are impossible. We testify of what we have experienced and witnessed. May our testimony inspire others to share their story. The question is not how to get cured, but how to live.
Notice the difference between being in control and needing control.
Start by doing what is necessary, then what is possible, and suddenly you're doing the impossible. Some people are like clouds. When they disappear, it's a beautiful day. The key to flow is to pursue an activity for its own sake, not for the rewards it brings.
Vulnerability is the least celebrated emotion in our society.
If we try to measure, now we find it's always gone, has become part of the past. Life is magical for those whose hearts are loving, minds are full with joy, and eyes that are dancing with beauty. Never mind those failures till yesterday. Each new day is a sequel of a wonderful life, gifted with hopes to succeed. If you try and lose, then it isn't your fault. But if you don't try and we lose, then it's all your fault.
Keep your dreams. You never know when you might need them.
Good people see the good and bring out the best in other people.
If those who are sent to draw water begin by drinking themselves, the army is suffering from thirst.
And therefore those skilled in war bring the enemy to the field of battle and are not brought there by him.
What keeps life fascinating is the constant creativity of the soul.
Every beginner possesses a great potential to be an expert in his or her chosen field. You're not to be so blind with patriotism that you can't face reality. Wrong is wrong, no matter who does it or says it. If you want to be happy, do not dwell in the past. Do not worry about the future. Focus on living fully in the present. Discussion is impossible with someone who claims not to seek the truth, but already to possess it. When the world throws rocks at you, turn them into diamonds. If you're jealous of someone else, it simply means you have not come to a true acceptance and appreciation of yourself. Whether we like it or not, modern ways are going to alter and in part destroy traditional customs and values. The true test of a man's character is what he does when no one is watching. No power on earth, if it labors beneath the burden of fear, can possibly be strong enough to survive.
Pretend inferiority and encourage his arrogance.
The more I live, the more I learn. The more I learn, the more I realize, the less I know.
Transmit the established facts. Do not transmit words of exaggeration. If you do that, you will probably come out all right.
For some unknown reason, success usually occurs in private, while failure occurs in full view.
I believe in spectacles, but I think eyes necessary too.
You're not obligated to win. You're obligated to keep trying to the best you can do every day. Striving for success without hard work is like trying to harvest where you haven't planted.
Being unconquerable lies with yourself. Being conquerable lies with your enemy. If you want to tell people the truth, make them laugh. Otherwise, they'll kill you.
That's what fiction is for. It's for getting at the truth when the truth isn't sufficient for the truth. If you are not the hero of your own story, then you're missing the whole point of your humanity. You only get one life. Live it to the fullest. All your miseries will be forgiven when you will be dead. To be successful, you have to be out there. You have to hit the ground running. To have what you have never had, you have to do what you have never done. The truth was only another mask, even if it was the best fit, closest to skin and all that lay beneath. Look beyond the words spoken. Actions speak louder than words and reveal the true motives behind any pretext.
I saw a star. I reached for it. I missed. So I accepted the sky.
Who we are in the present includes who we were in the past.
The job of feet is walking, but their hobby is dancing. The more powerful the class, the more it claims not to exist.
In order to succeed, your desire for success should be greater than your fear of failure. Prediction is very difficult, especially about the future.
Receive with simplicity everything that happens to you.
Being happy doesn't mean that everything is perfect. It means that you've decided to look beyond the imperfections. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. Sometimes one likes foolish people for their folly, better than wise people for their wisdom.
Behind every beautiful thing, there's some kind of pain.
We can't choose our fate, but we can choose others. Be careful in knowing that. As we go through life, we gradually discover who we are. The more we discover, the more we lose ourselves. My mission in life is not merely to survive, to thrive.
Don't leave it all unsaid, somewhere in the wasteland of your head.
If at first you don't succeed, try again. Then quit. No use being a damn fool about it.
For a word to be spoken, there must be silence, before and after. He who is not satisfied with a little is satisfied with nothing.
A gentleman is someone who does not what he wants to do, but what he should do. First it hurts, then it makes you stronger. If you don't let go of the wrong people, you'll never meet the right people. Night is a time of rigor, but also of mercy. There are truths which one can see only when it's dark. The problem with people is they forget that most of the time, it's the small things that count. Successful people don't have fewer problems. They have determined that nothing will stop them from going forward.
We are finite, in that we are a product and source of the infinite.
People have only as much liberty as they have the intelligence to want and the courage to take. I am ignorant of absolute truth, but I am humble before my ignorance, and therein lies my honor and my reward.
We cannot do everything at once, but we can do something at once.
You can be young without money, but you can't be old without it. Time strides so uneven, some days endless, and others like the blink of an eye.
It's not what you look at that matters, it's what you see.
If you give up what you want most for what you think you should want more, you'll end up miserable.
So in war, the way is to avoid what is strong and strike at what is weak.
Because I don't live in either my past or my future. I'm interested only in the present. Sometimes change was good, sometimes it was even exactly what you needed. The sky is the limit. For some people, aim higher. Nothing is impossible. Life is like a novel. It's filled with suspense. You have no idea what is going to happen until you turn the page. Seeking what is true is not seeking what is desirable. Change your life today. Don't gamble on the future. Act now, without delay. Our soul wounds took time to show themselves, and they will take time to heal. And healing requires compassion. If you really want to do something, you'll find a way. You don't, you'll find an excuse. Choosing kindness is the ultimate expression of evolved consciousness. Grow by being kind.
To have a human form of a joyful thing, but in the universe of possible forms, there are others just as good. There is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you. The mind is its own place, and in itself can make a heaven of hell, a hell of heaven. If quick, I survive. If not quick, I am lost. This is death.
When there are many worlds, you can choose the one you walk into each day. There's a tragic clash between truth and the world. Pure, undistorted truth burns up the world. It is your responsibility to find fault with me. It is mine to hear you out. But don't expect me to change. Trusting yourself means living out what you already know. Be true.
The road to success is dotted with many tempting parking spaces. Don't ever take a fence down until you know why it was put up.
Truth is stranger than fiction, but it is because fiction is obliged to stick to possibilities. Truth isn't. No matter what happens or how bad it seems today, life does go on and it will be better tomorrow. Common sense in an uncommon degree is what the world calls wisdom. Don't have hope that the situation will be better. Have hope that your Savior will be nearer.
The language of light can only be decoded by the heart.
The clarity that comes without desperation is the clarity that carries authority.
Art should comfort the disturbed and disturb the comfortable.
The thing about a spiral is if you follow it inward, it never actually ends. It just keeps tightening, infinite. Those guys who want to have the mohawk, which to me is the new business casual. What would come, and you would have to meet it when it did.
If the mind is willing, the flesh could go on and on without many things.
What you don't know won't hurt you. A dubious maxim, sometimes what you don't know can hurt you very much. Anything that doesn't take years of your life and drive you to suicide hardly seems worth doing. I don't want to be a tree. I want to be its meaning. The two most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why. The successful person has unusual skill at dealing with conflict and ensuring the best outcome for all.
True goodness springs from a man's own heart. All men are born good.
Best friends are treasures. Hug them for their caring. Applaud their accomplishments. Laugh with them gratefully. When one door of happiness closes, another opens.
Once you bid farewell to discipline, you say goodbye to success.
Too many people spend money they haven't earned, to buy things they don't want, to impress people that they don't like.
The only thing that interferes with my learning is my education. I knew it like destiny, and at the same time, I knew it as choice. Health is hearty, health is harmony, health is happiness.
Be kind to one another, even when it's not requested.
You can't blame gravity for falling in love. You often meet your fate on the road you take to avoid it.
Haters keep on hating because somebody's got to do it. Before I can become an expert on anything, I must first become an expert on me. Don't plan or make a financial decision that is dependent on another person without letting them know first.
Healthy citizens are the greatest asset any country can have.
It is not needful for our dreams to be very grand nor very big. It is only needful for our dreams to be very shiny. People are successful because they think and act like successful people. Worrying about losing is losing before you begin. Deeply respecting yourself is the first step toward having a deep respect for others.
Victory comes from finding opportunities in problems. Many things are not as they seem. The worst things in life never are.
We either make ourselves miserable or we make ourselves strong. The amount of work is the same. The free mind, unafraid of labor, presses on to attain the good. One morning, you wake up with more life behind you than in front of you, not being able to understand how it's happened. Gotta keep my head above water. Gotta make it through.
Everything is relative in this world. where change alone endures. The fruit of empty hopes is more bitter than the saddest truth.
We could never learn to be brave and patient if there were only joy in the world.
Don't waste your time with explanations. People only hear what they want to hear.
The power to change your life lies in the simplest of steps. Take your victories, whatever they may be, cherish them, use them, but don't settle for them.
Truth is what stands the test of experience.
Every challenge, every adversity, contains within it the seeds of opportunity and growth.